I swear to God, if Israelis come to my front door, I won't leave my home, and I will die in the north and never come back to the south.
The Palestinian affairs analyst and joins us from Jenin in the occupied West Bank. Osama, thank you for your time. Some of our international viewers who may not be too familiar with this conflict or the history of Palestinians may wonder why people in Gaza are choosing to return to the north, where there are no livable homes. 80% of it has been decimated, infrastructure has been destroyed, but people are hopeful they are going back. What is the message that Palestinians are trying to send, not just to Israel, but to the world by returning to these homes?
Yeah, this reflects the determination and the resilience of the Palestinian people not to give up their national principles, which is staying in Palestine, whatever the price, whatever the cost is. We know that most of the Palestinian people in Gaza are refugees. They were expelled from their homeland in 1948, which we call the Nakba, when Israel was established at the expense of the Palestinian people. They were forced to leave Jaffa, Safad, Haifa, Akka, and they were turned from citizens into refugees. And the large number of the Palestinian refugees went to Gaza and lived in Gaza. So the idea of refuge, the idea of displacement and expulsion is like a monstrous idea that no Palestinian accepts, regardless of the price that they may pay. So the Palestinians in Gaza accepted to live in the rubble, despite all the catastrophic situation that they have, but they refuse to leave Gaza with a strong belief that they are going to reclaim their land, rebuild their homes, and Gaza would become much better than it was before the war.
And with all of that being said, what then do you make of the statements from U.S. President Donald Trump that Gaza should be, quote, cleaned out and cleared out of Palestinians, and they should be moved to other countries like Jordan and Egypt?
Yeah, Trump's statement reflects the supremacist American ideology that is consistent with the Israeli Zionist ideology, which is based on the denial of the right of the other to peaceful and calm and quiet life on their own land. So that was not a decision by the American president. It is an idea. It is like throwing the stone into the water in order to estimate the response of the regional countries, and in particular Jordan and Egypt, how their leaders' response is going to be to that statement. And we all heard the statement of the Jordanian Minister of Foreign Affairs and the statement by the Egyptian Ministry of Foreign Affairs rejecting the idea of Trump, is that the Palestinians have one land and no any other alternative land. Their land is Palestine, and no one can uproot them from their homeland.
And of course, they have been uprooted so many times. And when you hear those comments from countries like Jordan and Egypt, these are also countries and others in the region and the international community who will have to help Gazans rebuild. And that rebuilding process is going to be slow. But how contingent is the rebuilding process on what Israel actually allows to enter Gaza? Because, of course, they are the occupying power and they have the final say on what is able to enter the enclave, like building materials, like bulldozers and diggers that are essential for rebuilding.
Yes, it is a very complicated and it is a very difficult mission. And we know that Gaza has been under the Israeli siege since 2006, not only October 23, but with the will of the Palestinian people, with the will of the citizens of Gaza, and with the support from the Arab Islamic countries and the millions of people who took to the streets calling on their governments to pressure Israel to stop its genocidal campaign against the Palestinian people, with the United Nations support, with the humanitarian organizations, I think if all these efforts are combined together with the will of the Palestinian people, the people who endured the genocidal campaign for more than 475 days, paying 200,000 of their citizens between killed and injured, all these factors combining together, I think Gaza would be rebuilt. The main idea and the key principle here is that the Palestinian people refuse to quit their national rights and refuse to abandon their country, even if the price is their blood and the flesh. Once we have this conviction and this principle, I think not only the United States, but also Israel and all their supporters cannot uproot the Palestinian people from their land, because it is an issue of a principle, it is an issue of ideology. We don't have any substitute for our homeland, which is Palestine, where our ancestors and our forefathers lived and died.
Osama Nazzal, Palestinian affairs analyst, great to get your thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you.